America's tourism crisis nobody's talking about. Foreign visitors are abandoning the U.S. in record numbers, and it's costing billions. Oxford Economics predicts an $8.5 billion drop in international visitor spending this year, while the World Travel and Tourism Organization estimates an even more alarming $12.5 billion loss. The proof? Flight bookings to the U.S. between May and July have already plummeted by over 10%. This isn't just a blip, it's a trend with massive economic consequences. While other destinations flourish, America is losing its appeal to global travelers. What's driving this exodus? And can the U.S. tourism industry recover before it's too late?
Denmark, Australia, Canada, Germany, France, the UK, and Finland have issued a travel advisory warning their citizens about visiting the United States of America. Let that sink in. These countries are no longer considering the US a safe destination. And honestly, can you blame them? From mass shooting to police violence to a broken prison system, this place is simply unraveling. One of those warnings came just a few weeks after a Canadian citizen passed away in a US prison under very disturbing circumstances. Most people already forgot because here the news cycle moves so fast that before you have time to process one thing, another bad thing is happening. So I'll ask again, are we great yet? Is this what greatness looks like for the rest of the world to see us as a danger zone? Let me know what you think.
Catastrophic and unprecedented $12.5 billion loss for tourism. You heard me correctly. $12.5 billion loss just in 2025. This is going to be catastrophic for the United States of American tourism. People are not coming for business travel. They are not coming for conventions. They are not coming here for vacation. They are not coming here because of the trade war, because we are now actually on a national human rights watch list. You heard me correctly. For the first time ever, the United States of America is a danger to human rights. States like Florida, California, Nevada, specifically Las Vegas, and other major tourist cities are going to suffer devastating consequences. Have you changed your plans to travel for work, personal, or business to the United States or in between states? This is going to be an economic disaster we may never recover from.
Prayer is for US to recover from it because the disaster is disaster. That's just the honest truth. Countries, it has not gotten to the point whereby countries are not telling their citizens, we are warning you, do not move to US. Not only countries, even the US citizens themselves, we see videos online telling us that the situation of things right now in this country is not where you should come. If you are even planning on coming on a business trip or any other stuff for tourism or whatsoever, cancel it because at the end of the day, you do not know what is actually coming to face you in the US. You know, I said it in some of my videos that the US right now is now a trap for a lot of people. People they were really very angry with me. Ooh, why did you say that? They didn't really understand the context of what I was saying. I was saying that because a lot of Americans have seen that there is more pains now to live in the US and they're even looking for alternative to move abroad. Anyways, airports are empty. A lot is really happening and I have great content for you guys to actually catch up on, and of which I'll go ahead and roll out those clips. Credit belongs to the original creators of those videos. Thank you so much for always coming to support me. This is just for educational purpose. This is not to bash anyone. Feel free to correct me in the comment section if you think I'm going out of point, right? With that being said, let's dive right and then I'll be back with commentaries.
So y'all know them travel advisory reports that the United States loves to push out, basically telling us to not go to certain places because they're violent or it's not safe. Yeah, so the Department of Commerce has now issued a report showing a growing list of countries advising their citizens to not come to the United States, to not come and visit the United States. Yeah, now we are not the safe country. So I'm reading from an article that you can find on Forbes.com, right? So it says that the United States government reported a double-digit overall drop in international arrivals last month, with much bigger losses coming from Canada, Mexico, and lucrative Western Europe markets, suggesting foreign tourists are staying away in significant numbers due to the tariff backlash and even harsher immigration tactics. So I'm just going to read off some of these statistics. So in the Caribbean, they have seen a 26% drop from visitors and tourists. Africa, 10% drop. South America, 11% drop. Central America, 24% drop. Asia is a 1% drop. And now the two largest governments, or the two largest European markets, the United Kingdom is down 15%, and then Germany is down 29%. These governments are telling their citizens to not come over to the United States, not visit the United States, in fear that ICE agents will detain their citizens and not bring them back to their native land, which we see is the case here in this administration. If they come here, God forbid, get detained by ICE, ICE will not allow them to prove that they're visiting, will not allow them to prove their visas. They will most likely send them to a detention center and then ship them over to El Salvador's mega prison, just like they did with that teenage New York Bronx kid that's actually from Venezuela. Instead of deporting him to his native country, they deported him to the mega prison. Yeah, that's what they don't want to happen. Because if that happens, there's no way for people, their actual family and their government to even be made aware of what's going on, because ICE agents will not inform nobody. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was actually questioned on this yesterday during a press conference, to which she said, I haven't even seen the report. I haven't even seen the report. As the White House Press Secretary, is that not your job? Is that not your job to be aware and to manage the reputation of the government? Instead, she decided to say, while I haven't seen the reports and I would have to read it in order for me to effectively comment, I do believe that the administration that we're in right now is so much safer and so much better than the one that we were in previously 4 years ago. So I don't know why they would be advising their citizens to not come over here. It's because of this administration's policy and their harsh immigration tactics. That's why. These are tourists that often have to come over here on a visa. ICE agents are not allowing people to even prove their legal status. Why the fuck would anybody come over here? Just so you know, the United States makes $2 trillion in tourism. $2 trillion that we're starting to lose now. And that $2 trillion is tied up in the United States GDP, which is part of the reason why the US dollar is the world's reserve currency. That goes down. I think you know where I'm going with this. So now, thanks to this administration and all of its dumb policies, we are facing a possible recession, inflation. The entire world globally is laughing and mocking our democracy and our government. We are now starting to lose profit that we make on tourism. And as a New York City native, I'm not gonna lie, we could use a little less tourism here in New York City. But overall, for American economy, that's not a good thing. It's not a good thing at all. Maybe if this administration wasn't too worried with trying to rack up and rally as many free slaves to ship over to that mega prison in El Salvador, we wouldn't have to be dealing with this. Just saying.
I actually love that Trump is doing this travel ban, because what makes that orange man think that anyone is looking to travel to the United States anytime soon? Just look at how many countries are on this travel ban list by Donald Trump. And then on top of that, look how many are on there that are actually from Africa. Now, the irony of this is, if Africa were to do the same, if Africa were to do a travel ban against America, say no American citizens or no American foreign entities were allowed into any African countries, the entirety of the Western world would crumble, my dear, because where would you guys get your minerals? Oh, wait. Where would you guys get your resources? How would you even be able to watch this video right now if it wasn't for Congo, the same Congo that you're banning? Needless to say, America better learn quickly that historically, countries that have gone isolationists have always fallen. Their empires have always crumbled. So it's very interesting that this is the route that they are deciding to go on. Nobody is rushing to go to the United States right now, especially considering that you guys are literally detaining visa holding tourists, even from European countries. Nobody's safe.
So many people outside of the US have got no idea how bad it's got or how bad it's going to get, which has kind of shocked me, although it shouldn't, because obviously not everybody is as chronically online as I am. But I had to explain to a couple of friends recently, I was talking to them about Help Me Leave, and I had to explain, that the Trump regime is busy normalising a pathway that allows them to snatch people off the street without due process and then hold them indefinitely in inhumane facilities. And they've started that with illegal immigrants, but just to be clear, a lot of the people that ICE are snatching are not criminal, have paperwork, or in the process of getting the right paperwork, right? So they're not illegal at all. Snatching these people, doing whatever the hell they want with them, and then disappearing them, right? And they're normalising that. And all they have to do is widen the criteria, and then more and more people go on that conveyor belt. And in the recent executive orders that Trump has signed, we're seeing that happening already, all right? Mental illness, homelessness, all sorts of things. They're now saying they have the right to take you off the street and hold you in facilities against your will. So Help Me Leave isn't hysteria. Help Me Leave is a very practical understanding of where this is going and a desire to get vulnerable people out while we still can.
People are going to stop coming to the United States. There has been story after story of tourists being detained by ICE for no reason, being stripped, put in cold showers, interrogated, tortured, being detained indefinitely, not being allowed to speak to their family members, not being allowed to speak to their lawyers. Do you think anyone from Europe is going to want to come to the United States this summer? Our tourism industry has already died. The majority of people just don't realize it yet. And if you are not in the United States currently, I would highly advise, do not come here. You cannot trust us. You cannot trust our government. It is unsafe. Do not come here.
Whoa. Okay, so don't come to America right now. I mean, all the obvious reasons why, but this is not safe for you. I just heard about 2 German young men who flew in to Honolulu Airport who were detained by ICE. They were questioned for hours. They were strip searched, naked, strip searched. They were placed in green jumpsuits and they were put in a holding cell with criminals. Don't come here. It's not safe. It's not safe for me. I'm born and raised here. It's not safe for me. It's definitely not safe for you. Please, 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 please. Don't come here right now. Don't come here right now.
White House was recently bragging that border crossings are at an all-time low. Why is that? Oh, that's right, because no one's coming to America anymore. Our current government isn't exactly the friendliest of people that don't speak the King's English. It's not just illegal border crossings that are down. International tourism in the United States has fallen like a rock. In March, overseas arrivals dropped by more than 11% compared to the year before. Western Europe saw a 17% decline. The Americas down 24%. Flights that used to be packed are now running real light. The reason behind these declines is pretty simple. The global perception of the United States has changed recently since the election. His threats, along with horror stories of travelers to the States, have led European nations, along with Canada, to issue travel advisories to the United States. These tourists no longer feel safe or welcome by our current government. This isn't just about the loss of tourism. Those tourists bring jobs, and those jobs are going to be lost, along with tips, and the businesses are going to struggle. Some of them are going to close. Cities like Orlando, New York, Las Vegas are already feeling the effects of the lack of travelers. If this trend continues, the U.S. could lose up to $180 billion in GDP by June of 2026. It's not just immigrants that aren't coming anymore. No one wants to come here.
Joe from Georgia. So tourism season is upon us. And I can tell you what the United States is seeing. The United States is seeing a huge dramatic drop in international visitors to the United States. Now, those visitors contribute millions to billions of dollars of tourism dollars all across the United States, and specifically heavily in Florida, because everybody undoubtedly in Europe thinks that Florida is that Disneyland is the greatest place in the world to go. I don't understand that, but Florida's getting hammered on the tourism end, but it's also across the entire United States. Now, 18 million jobs are in the tourism industry. And when you're starting to lose billions of dollars, what you're going to do is you're going to lose jobs. You're going to lose revenues for small businesses. You're going to lose hotel motel taxes that support some things in local government. So the real deal is here. The world doesn't want to come to the United States, which has always been one of the top tourist destinations in the world. We're going to lose that title this year, and we know who we can owe that to. Congratulations on reducing the income for businesses that rely on tourism.
There's been a steep drop off in international travel to the United States. It was down 12% last month, down even more from Western Europe. Why do you think that there are fewer people suddenly who want to travel to the United States?
Well, there could be a little, there's a little nationalism there, I guess, perhaps. It's not a big deal. And our dollar is a little bit on the low side, and that means that a lot of tourism is going to come in. But I could see a little bit nationalism at work, and I could see it likewise with us not wanting to go to certain countries, but that will work out very easily.
Do you think some people are scared to come here because they hear the stories of tourists who are detained for a few days or even a week or two?
No, we treat our tourists great. We're the tourism capital of the world. There's no place like this. And there may be a little bit of nationalism, but I doubt it. I actually doubt it.
What the president will say. Did you guys just saw that clip that I played for you? Is it fair? Look at what Mr. President will say. Look at what he will say. Who is in a competition with you? Address the major issue that we have. Why is our airport empty? Why is things not working out? That is the question that we ask. Did you hear what he said? Continue watching. I'll be back with commentaries.
Hey guys, I'm here in the Orlando airport and there's not a single soul in here. Guys, airports are 24/7. I don't think you have ever seen this in Orlando. This is like one of the most busiest. Oh my God, look at this. I could show you down the hallway. Nobody, guys. I have never seen this before in my life. Look at this. The tram, not a single soul. Guys, this is scary. Anyways, guys, I just thought I'd tell you, this is one of the most busiest airports because of Disney, obviously, right? Disney. Guys, there's nobody in here. Everything is closed down. What's going on? This is the first time I've ever seen this in my life. Guys, let me know in the comments if you ever seen the Orlando airport. Orlando. This dead before. Guys, this is scary. Anyways, guys, I am filming this. Look at this. Look at the tram. Not a single soul. Guys, there's nobody waiting in the hallways. There's nobody in the restaurants. Everything is closed. I don't know, guys. I'm kind of scared. I gotta go. All right, bye.
If you're Canadian, just stay home, okay? Don't go to the United States of Puerto Rico. Don't even attempt, okay? Just, if you're Canadian and you have a functioning brain with not too much mercury in it, you should avoid traveling to the United States of Puerto Rico at all cost. Yesterday, I got denied access in the United States. I thought this was meant for people who are criminals. You know, I thought it was for people who got criminal records, bad people, okay? Not me. I don't know what the heck is suspicious about me, but yesterday I got denied access trying to catch a flight to Florida. Okay, mind you, I did not even want to go. Isn't that funny? Like in my guts, like it felt wrong. Like I didn't want to go, but I already had plans to pets it. You know, the booking was done, the deal was done. I had to pet it. I was doing it for the pets. But then the agent at Border Control told me that I was taking somebody else's job by pet sitting in Puerto Rico, and that the owner should hire a U.S. citizen. I was like, this is not really what you're thinking, because this is a very well-organized website / application where people get to travel and pitted worldwide, you know, in exchange of staying in houses for free. She's like, nah. And what is it again that you do for a living? I'm like, I'm a content creator, you know, UGC and everything. She's like, that's not a stable income. I'm like, actually, you're right, but, you know, I eat. She like, nah, next time you want to come here, bring your pay stubs, bring your bank statement, bring proof that you have ties to Canada. I'm like, what do you want? Like my lease or something? She's like, yes, that would be a good proof. In my head, I'm like, I know this bird don't think I'm trying to flee my beautiful Canadian country to go in this Trump fest ghetto rica, where they give shit to citizens. Now, what? Listen, at that point, I heard enough. I'm pretty sure she had heard enough. And I agreed with her. She's like, I'm denying you access. I'm like, thank you. Okay? Like, thank you for reminding me that I should not even try to cross your border. Like, thank you for knocking some sense back into my head.
Fly back to Vegas. Everybody's got their own row. It's like unheard of. So freaking sweet, dude. I'm so stoked. It's like empty, totally empty. It's so crazy.
A lot of travel is down into the United States from around the world. It feels like there's been reputational
The country's
damage.
doing great. Well, prices are down.
Not the tourism
Gasoline's down. Energy's down. Tourism is going to be way up. Wait till you see the numbers. The tourism is way up.
Not now.
Now, Canada, tourism's doing very well. We're doing very well. We're doing very well. Wait till you see the real numbers come out in 6 months from now. Wait till you see the numbers.
But do you
They're gonna
think,
be very
Denmark, France, the UK, and Finland all just issued travel advisory warnings against the United States. They don't think that it's safe for people from their country to travel to this hellhole, and they are absolutely right. Are we great yet? Is it cool when other countries are terrified of having their citizens visit here because they might end up in prison, and maybe they'll get murdered in a U.S. prison like that Canadian did just a couple of weeks ago, which I'm sure everyone's already forgotten about because every day is full of so much terrible news we can't even keep up with it. Donald Trump's America absolutely sucks balls, and any person who says that they really like it right now is the kind of person who enjoys living in terror. There is some number of people who really enjoy authoritarianism, but I have to tell you guys a secret here. Nobody ends up doing great in an authoritarian regime. Exactly. Nobody ends up doing well. This doesn't end well for anyone.
Well, I did a thing today. Actually, I canceled a thing today. Have a look. Yeah. In April, I was supposed to go to New York for a vocal workshop with a bunch of people, and I canceled the trip today. Canceled my trip. I just, as a Canadian, in good conscience, I just couldn't justify going. Now, there's a bunch of different reasons, but I saw what happened to Jasmine Mooney, and I'm seeing videos about when you go to the border, they're checking everything, and I just, my spidey senses just started tingling. And I don't know, call it intuition, I don't know what it is, but there's something that I just didn't feel right about. Not to mention how Canada is being treated, and it sucks. I love New York. It's like one of my favorite cities in the whole wide world, and the people are great, and the food's great, the history's great, and everything's great. And it sucks. I want to go so bad, and I love all the Americans, the Blue Dots, who have been so supportive of Canada during this time, but I just couldn't do it. So it sucks. I canceled it today, so here we are. But you know what, New York? In the words of Jonathan Groff of Hamilton, you'll be back. Soon you'll see, and I can't wait. Someday. I'll come back someday, New York. But yeah, cancel my trip. Apples up.
Lie, don't tell me you didn't see that airport, right? Don't tell me you didn't see how empty that airport is. Like, it has never been recorded. It has never been recorded that someone will be in airports showing how empty that it is, and the person just said he's also scared. Yes, why wouldn't the person be scared? Because he has never seen as empty as this airport is. Tourism, people that are tourists, people that are coming to do vacation, to come for vacation, they are no longer coming. They are not coming. Nobody cares about the US anymore. Nobody cares about what is happening there. A lot of people are not looking out for other alternatives. If the citizen itself can actually look out for other alternatives, what happens to those ones that are not citizens? What happens to those of us that are actually seeing the exact thing that is actually happening online? You think we are not going to look out for ourselves? Presidents of countries are now warning their people, do not do business with this particular country called US. Do not move to US. If you go there, anything happens to you, you are on your own. Even the citizens are homeless. A lot of people cannot even afford food. A lot of people are turning their own car now to a place of where they are now sleeping, to a place where they feel like this is where it is now safe. A lot of people, it's just a whole lot. How many do we even count? How many do we count? But the question is, where will this end? When do we see the end of this thing? What happens to the American dream? What happens to the American that we've always wished to fly to, we've always wished to live our life, we've always wished to look out for greener pastures? To even crack everything, you see, immigrants now are deporting themselves. Yes, it is not news. Go and check. Go on TikTok, check out for videos. You find that immigrants now are deporting themselves. These are legal immigrants without Trump deporting them, without ICE agents deporting them. They are using their own hands to be like, I think I've achieved whatever I want to achieve. As at this point, there is nothing here for me to achieve again. Let me move to my country, or let me move to another country. The question is, when will our Mr. President see all of these things, see them as a problem? Because the moment you ask him one question, he just have his way around to twist it and make it look so sweet. And in as much as he's trying to make it look so sweet, a lot of us know it is not even making sense. How is the situation of things right now in US? If you are watching from US, please let us know. Do you think US is still a safe place that a lot of people should still keep coming? Do you think US is still that one country that has that big dream that every single one of us actually want to rush? Do you think that Mr. President can still make US great? Let's just assume that probably this tenor is what is actually affecting him. Maybe when he comes to a bigger picture in the tenor, everything's actually going to sit well, everything's actually going to sit fine. Let's assume that. But with all of these things that I'm seeing, I'm scared so that US do not crash at the end of the day. I'm scared so that... Let me know what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. This video is just for educational purpose. This video is not to bash everyone. Correct me if you think I'm wrong. I stand a chance to be corrected. Credit belongs to the original creators of every videos and clips we use in our today's episode. And yes, with no further ado, I'm going to be saying bye, guys, and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye, guys. I love you. Stay safe out there, and please watch out for your neighbors. Look out for 1 or 2 persons. Give them something to eat. Give them clothes to wear, because a lot of people are already running out of patience. Help them so that they don't end up themselves before time. It is well. We hope American is great again.